All right, I thought I'd make a quick recording of my in-progress attempts to teach this notebook how to display live 3D graphics. Obviously, you can see some of it on the right. This is a Clerk notebook. This is a canvas embedded in this kind of literate essay. And the canvas has this cube of points, and the points are defined by this data structure. So we have a map here that says I want the cube to be 2 wide, 2 dots wide, 20 dots high, and 4 dots deep. And what I mean when I say defined by is that I can go ahead and change these values in my code on the left. I can, let's move my face. I can call this clerk show function. Oops. There we go. I think it was disconnected. So I can call clerk show, and then this thing will live update and catch updates from my editor. So let's say, 30 by 10 by 6. Clerk show, boom, live updates. No problem. I can change the size of these little nuggets. Look at that. That's so beautiful. I can zoom in. I can go examine the grid. I think I get some crazy patterns if I turn this way, though. Let's see. It's a little too dense. So let's shrink this down. Oh, yeah. Ooh, some cool patterns starting to come out. This is pretty tedious, though, if I want to go. Oh, yeah, look at that. Woo. Oh, wow. So cool. So that's pretty tedious. If I want to do that and I'm like messing with the editor and then, changing these things back and forth, I'd like to be a little more interactive. So I found an example notebook inside of the Clerk repo. I called Clerk Show in this new namespace. The namespace looks like this. It lets me take these sliders and modify the sliders, and what they do is they change some state. It lives on my machine, pushing the state update back from the browser, and Clerk simultaneously updates anything in the page that depends on that state. So, I can change these sliders, these numbers will change, and then this is a computed value. Same thing works here. This is a donkey. And then on the server, I can say, what's the text state? Oh, this is a donkey. Change this back. Oh, this is so it totally worked great, just for me typing. So I took that same idea, I brought it over to my notebook, which I'll load again. Let's go to the bottom. Over here, I know this is all so difficult to understand. I copied the pattern, which is to have these data structures describing input elements, input HTML elements with type of range. There's a value that comes in from Clerk. I say I want the value to be, there's going to be 3. They're each going to be tagged to one of the width, height, or depth inside of this data structure. And then when you change it, I want to use this cryptic function to go update the existing value in the data structure to be the new value of the slider. And then I didn't even worry about it. I just copy pasted this thing for width, height, depth, and I ended up with this kind of janky looking page. But here I've got the same thing as before. Here's my initial state, and then here are these sliders attached to this box view. When I move the sliders, oh my goodness, look at that. It's the same thing I was doing before, except dynamically editable. And then here down below, I have a cell that shows the box state. So if you look close, you can see when I change depth, the depth resolution changes, height, same thing. And without any sort of nice abstraction, if I want more, I can say, let me just copy the depth thing. Let's have this one change the size field. And again, not thinking too much about how to not repeat myself. Boom, size. We'll say size. That's going to look so nice. Clerk Show, and look at that. I've got a new slider. When I change this slider, I haven't done this yet. Whoa, look at that. The little size of the beads change. Amazing. Let's make this a little more reasonable. Okay, and then, woo! This is kind of slow updating because I don't have this Mathbox thing fully reactified yet, so it's just blowing away the state and completely re-rendering every time I mess with anything. But it's still pretty cool. I also can go back here and go to my REPL and say reset box state to be something new. Like let's go back to my original. And then if I call Clerk Show again, I don't know if you caught that, but the sliders all update and everything goes back to my initial state. So let's reset to, width, just like I was kind of playing before, 100 by 20 by 6 with size of 10. Great. And then I'll go up here. I'm going to call this Clerk Show function. Boom, all the sliders shift, driven by the server, and the box updates too. And then I can mess with it and fiddle with it and zoom and do all the nice things I like. Yeah, and if I refresh the page with an Apple R and go to the bottom, the angle and the camera position is reset, but not any of these sliders. So I have exactly what I had before. I could stuff all the camera state into this as well, and that would make it so if I share this link, this notebook with anybody, they'll get exactly the same thing that I had here. Yeah, that was really fun. This obviously looks terrible as far as UI beauty, but what are you going to do? Next step is to get one of these things animating with some